Good morning, my rogue readers. My name is Erin Rogoff, and welcome back to my BookTube channel, where books are the topic of discussion all day, every day. And in today's video, let's have a little chat about Darcy Coates and her books. I have to say, for starters, that Darcy Coates is a new favorite horror, thriller, supernatural fiction author of mine, and it would make my day if she saw any of the videos that I have made about her and in the future. I am such a huge fan. Please write more books because I will buy them immediately without even needing to read the plot. I will just get it. That is just me. The first book by Darcy Coates that I have ever read is Craven Manor, and I loved it. There is not a doubt in my mind that this is such amazing work, and nobody can tell me otherwise, really. The latest Darcy Coates book I read was Dead Lake, and I loved it. It actually kind of reminded me about my family's rented cabin up in Stokes State Forest, and I had a picture of the cabin and the lake and the hiking trails, and even though Stokes State Forest is nothing like the novel Dead Lake, it was still very vivid in imagery that I loved it. And the Darcy Coates book that I am reading next is Hunted, which I am so excited to read because it's one of the longer books and I want to take in all of the literary amazingness. And I know that's not a word, but I'm making it a word. What is my least favorite book by Darcy Coates? There are no books by Darcy Coates that I do not like. And as far as a favorite book by Darcy Coates is concerned, I would have to say either Craven Manor or The Fulcroft Ghosts. Craven Manor was such an amazing book. I loved every bit of it, and I actually had a minor crush on the man who had Craven Manor in his possession. I don't know why I liked him so much, but I just connected with him in a very interesting way, even though our lives are completely different. And then why do I like the Fulcroft Ghosts? Well, it kind of reminded me of M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit, but it was very low-key, and there was no disgusting scene between the grandfather and the grandson, if you know what I'm talking about. Do not watch that movie. It will make your stomach turn like that scene did. However, moving on. I have a list of all the Darcy Coates books that I have, such as
My friends don't walk, they run. Skinny dipping rabbit holes for fun. Popping balloons with guns. Getting high off helium. We paint white roses red. Each shade from a different person said this dream is a killer. Getting drunk with a blue caterpillar. I'm peeling the skin off my face, 'cause I really hate being safe. The normals, they make me afraid. The crazies, they make me feel sane. I'm nuts, baby, I'm mad. The craziest friend that you've ever had. You think I'm psycho, you think I'm gone. Tell the psychiatrist something is wrong. Over the bed, entirely bonkers. You like me best when I'm off my rocker. Tell you a secret, I'm not alarmed. So what if I'm crazy? The best people are.
And to wrap up this list, the only books by Darcy Coates I don't have are The House Next Door and Secrets in the Dark, but I am getting both of those books eventually. What do I like about Darcy Coates' books? Everything. There is nothing I don't like, but to be more specific, I love how the names of the books can be similar, but the plots are totally different. The Haunting of Ashburn House, The Haunting of Blackwood House, The Haunting of Gilles Spy House, The Haunting of Rookwood House. All similar, right? Well, The Haunting of Ashburn House is about a girl who inherits an old house from a deceased family member and then finds strange messages from ghosts. With Haunting of Blackwood House, A daughter of spiritualists buys an old house and can't escape her past while confronting ghosts. Or are they a part of her past too? And then for Gilles' spy house, a girl is house sitting for her friend and can't escape the feeling that she is being watched. And she doesn't feel quite as alone in the manor because she hears scratching in the walls. And we wonder, what is that and does it mean her harm? And then for Rookwood House, a man inherits a house from his dead mother, then he tries to flip the house and sell it for profit. However, he doesn't expect to meet a deranged ghost who locks him up inside the house. And if you know me, you know that I love a good horror story. I love supernatural fiction, so Cassie Clare, she is perfect. And with these supernatural books, I would be happy to be in any plot of these books, especially if it was Craven Manor, because then I could have the manor all to myself. I could garden to my heart's content. Not that I'm really much of a gardener anyway, but I could also hang out with ghosts, and that would just be thrilling to me. The reason I find old manors so interesting, in part, has to do with my mother, because she is the historian of the Monmouth County Historical Association, and she loves old houses. And when we go to her different museum locations, to the old historical sites, we always enter through the front door, and then we both say to these former owners who no longer live there, we say, "Oh, hello, ghost of Elizabeth," or "Hello, ghost of Josiah Halstead." It's just our thing, so haunted houses don't actually scare me, long story short. I probably should have said that first. Anyway, I also love how Darcy Coates' books always have me on the edge of my seat. With Dead Lake, I ignored everything in life just to finish the book because it was so well written and so enjoyable. Really, it was. And with the Volcroft Ghosts, I was so into the book, and I loved it even more than watching M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. And there are a lot of similarities between the book and the movie, even though they're totally different. However, the Volcroft Ghosts was like a low-key and better version of The Visit without the disturbing content, so kudos. Seriously, kudos. And final notes, Darcy Coates is an underrated author, and her books are underrated literature. Let's change that, guys! Like this video now if you want to see Darcy Coates' books on the bestseller list, because they are worth it. And like this video as well if you want to read one of her books, or 2, or 3, or even more. So, thank you, Darcy Coates, for an amazing book. I can't wait to read the next one.